One of the things I like to show too all the time, like from our face on,
Yeah.
is when I go back, if my chest comes down, even if my arms are straight,
Yeah.
there's a point where like my delt runs out.
Correct.
Like, I literally can't lift my
Yeah,
hands.
no, you can't.
Because I work with a lot of senior golfers who say that they can't swing far enough, but they're like here.
Yes.
And then of course, if I
Well,
extend from
so
there.
go back, do that again.
Yeah.
Do that again. Okay, so what I would do with most people is I take their head and I tilt it up and push it up.
I love that.
And then now you have that extension piece, because that's the biggest thing. Everybody's shifting to their right foot when they shouldn't be, and I go ahead and I just tilt you up, and now look at how much more freedom your left arm
Way
has.
up.
So you get a lot more distance out.
I love that.
Yeah.
For $29.99, Jess is available to push your head up if you want that in there. I want to talk to you today about Live View Golf. Now you guys hear me say all the time that you need feedback when you're practicing. You need to know if you're actually doing what you're trying to do, and the best way to give yourself feedback ultimately is video. And not only is video the best way to give yourself feedback, but being able to see yourself simultaneously as you're doing a movement is the best form of video feedback. It's the best way I've seen to make changes in your swing and be able to correlate the differences between your feels and your reels. Live View is super easy to use and set up. Simply set it up behind or in front of you. You connect it with your iPad or phone, pop that on the ground. You can actually do your practice, see yourself as you're doing it, the best way to expedite your process. I encourage you guys to check out Live View Golf. We'll put a link in the description down below with a coupon code. Hey guys, Eric here outside at the Deer Creek Golf Club, and we have to our left here Mr. Jess Frank. Jess, thanks for having us out today.
Thanks for coming.
Absolutely, appreciate it, man.
For sure.
So a lot of you guys have seen Jess's videos before. If you haven't, Jess has an awesome YouTube channel. We'll be sure to put the link to his channel in the description down below. It'll be the first link down there. After you love this video and click that like button down below, hop over to Jess's channel. He's got great videos. And so Jess, what we're gonna talk about today, and we talked a little off camera, about really the #1 distance killer for senior golfers. And I guess, in fact, we're going to kind of give you a little bonus.
Yes.
There'll be a kind of #1 backswing and then #1 downswing.
Yes.
So let's talk through, why don't we talk through what we see most often with senior golfers, what the biggest backswing and downswing issues are, and then we can talk through, for those that have it, what are the feels, how do we fix these things?
Right.
So maybe we'll flip-flop spots
Okay.
here if you want to hop in.
Absolutely. Yep.
And so let's say, Jess, I come in to watch you teach for a day.
Yes.
And there's a slew of senior golfers looking for the magic. Give me the magic, give me the distance. And maybe you saw several golfers through your career.
Yes.
What would you say, let's start with the backswing.
Right. So the #1 backswing mistake that senior golfers make, and that a lot of golfers make, not only seniors, but a lot of golfers make, is that when they turn back, they stay flexed over, and they make the club go up by the bending of their elbows. So they're swinging back, so they narrow their backswing, they shift their weight too much to the right foot, and they pull their arms in. And so what happens when you do that, then you have to shift all the way back to the front foot. You're usually releasing the club early, so a whole cascade of mistakes can happen. I see a lot of people hit behind it with a driver, or hitting the toe or the heel, and you know, it's just a very difficult.
Nothing good.
No, nothing good that comes out of it. I mean, you can occasionally hit good shots, but you're #1, you're losing distance because you're losing the width of the arc, and so and the circle that you can make, because once you start bending your arms, that's not something you do for speed. So.
And so when you make the backswing piece, it is funny, we say like #1 senior, this is really just any golfer.
Right.
So the biggest thing you see, and what we see in the backswing, like the root of the arms bending, and I like the way you said it before, the golfers aren't aware of how to get the butt of the club raised.
Correct,
right?
Yes.
And that stems from that extension,
extension. So what I teach, and that really helps people, and exactly what you said, is that most people do not understand how to make the club rise. Now the tour player does it automatically, and the people who hit it really far do it, but what happens is that most people make the club rise by flexing their arms, and they stay flexed over. What makes the club rise is actually, I like to demonstrate it always kind of looking forward first, is that the rise and the extension of the backs of tilting back or extending back. So when you do that, that's what makes the butt of the club rise. What makes the butt of the club rise is the extension in the backswing, not the flexing of the arms. Because once you start extending in the backswing, what happens is that your arms are straight. So that gives you the width in the backswing, and that's what really kind of changes senior golfers, especially because for so long, you know how it is on the driving range. Keep your head down, stay down.
Yeah.
You know,
Get behind the ball.
Get behind the ball.
Yeah, yeah.
You top it because you're lifting your head up, and we know that's not true at all. So what happens is as they're told that, they stay down more. They don't turn it all as well. That's another thing that happens. That's why golfers lose distance, because they're not making a full pivot. So once they extend their bodies in the backswing, then they've made a full turn by just extending and letting the butt of the club rise. So.
Let's talk through, let's flip-flop spots just for a sec. Let's talk through from a feel perspective, right? So if we're like, all right, the number one, that was beautiful. The number one issue during the backswing would be sort of the combination of the lack of the extending.
Right.
Extending.
Yeah.
And then due to that, the arms bending too much.
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
And so as we work through, to start that process, we'd start probably with the extension.
Right.
Right. So from like a feel perspective, if I'm, all right, hey, good, I get that.
Yes.
Right, I know I'm that person.
So what do you do?
How do I start? Yeah, what do I do here?
Well, very simply is that, you have your buttons on your shirt there.
Yep.
You could make an extension move and just point the buttons to the sky.
So if I were like here,
correct.
I want to get my shirt buttons up.
Yes.
Towards the sky.
You want to get the shirt buttons up to the sky.
That might be like a simple feel for me to start with.
100%.
I like when you did that too before, and sort of the lifting piece. Like if I stood up and I put this club in my sternum, it's like a laser, right?
Right.
And if it points horizontal to the ground, I'm just standing straight up and down.
Yeah.
As I bend forward, that points down towards the ground.
Correct.
That'd be bad in the backswing.
Right. Right.
Up towards the sky would be extension.
Yes.
That'd be good.
Yes.
So as I'm working back, I want to start to feel, just like 6 different ways to do the same thing.
Exactly.
Shirt buttons up, like I got that laser in,
Yeah.
up towards the sky.
Yeah.
And then, but just, wait a minute, that feels to me like my head is working kind of up and back towards the target compared to normal.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
Probably because you normally work low.
You're doing
right?
the opposite. So golfers start to do the opposite, and yes, that happens all the time. In fact, I just had a lady this morning talk about the same thing. She goes, well, I'm not staying down. I'm like, well, yes, you are staying down. You've just been flexed over so long that you don't, you just are two different
so
feels.
different.
Yeah, feeling
Let me
real,
whack
sure.
one or two, Jeff. You can hop just straight up forward there.
Yep.
So let's do one or two just from a feel perspective and see how this, so for me, if I'm practicing this, I'm thinking shirt buttons up.
Yep.
So when I make my backswing, my shirt buttons up. Of course, I'm tilting and turning like we talk about.
Exactly.
So maybe as my shirt buttons are going up, they're also fully pointed towards the camera.
Correct.
Is that fair? Something
Absolutely.
like that?
Absolutely.
So shirt buttons up, chest is back towards the camera. Maybe my right shoulder.
Your right shoulder can go behind your right ear.
Up and back.
That's a great feel too.
And as I'm doing that enables me to not only keep the arm straight, right, but also add some height.
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Why don't let me hit one first before I get ahead of myself. We'll add that one.
we got a lot of
pieces.
A lot of good pieces to add for sure.
Chest, shirt buttons up and towards the camera behind me.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is, I'm looking at like 350 here.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah,
I like that. I like confidence chest. So chest,
375.
shirt buttons up and back.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome.
I hit that a little bit of a push, but I hit that solid.
Yeah, solid.
So.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so one of the things I always hear, from senior golfers again, is that they're not flexible enough. But I would say that I would challenge any person, any golfer, that if they did here, can I switch? Yeah. So if any golfer did I could give any golfer a club and have them tilt their bodies back or extend back. It's just combining that as they go back with allowing them to make their buttons rise to the sky. So it's something that is foreign to most golfers because they've never been told that. They've always been told for years to keep their head down. So they have to train that. That's not, you're gonna take a few times to do it. Yeah. And what happens is when you videotape and when you see before and after shots, you show them on the video, and they think they're way out of position, but they're not. They're actually in a much better position, and in the position of most of the greatest players, if not all of them. You know, they're all extended and tilted and turned in the backswing, and that allows you to get the club higher in the backswing without just lifting your arms up.
Yeah.
So you're actually, as you're going back, your arms are still connected, but now you've got the extension piece of your buttons to the sky, and then from there, you've just created a much wider circle, a much wider arc, and you can create more speed that way.
One of the things I like to show too all the time, like from our face on, is when I go back, if my chest comes down, even if my arms are straight, there's a point where like my delt runs out.
Correct.
Like, I literally can't lift my hands.
No, you can't.
Because I work with a lot of senior golfers who say they can't swing far enough, but they're like here.
Yes.
And then of course, if I extend from there.
So go back, do that again.
Yeah.
Do that again. Okay, so what I would do with most people is I take their head and I tilt it up and push it up.
I love that.
And then now you have that extension piece, because that's the biggest thing. Everybody's shifting to their right foot when they shouldn't be, and I go ahead and I just tilt you up, and now look at how much more freedom your left arm
Way
has.
up.
So you get a lot more distance that
I
way.
love that.
Yeah.
For $29.99, Jess is available to push your head up if you want that in there.
Yeah, but that's the thing. People, the feels and everything, you know, as golf instructors, we have to do a number of different feels. Not everybody's going to react to the same thing. So sometimes that works, and you have to,
Shove
move
them.
people a little bit. Yeah.
So let's flip up one
Yep,
time, Jess.
sure.
So, and I think that's such a powerful thing, and you can even literally do this like when you're home, because it'll happen for all of us. If you go chest down, head off the ball, and the arms are extended here, and try and pull your left hand to the sky, you can't.
Can't do it.
But now if you do the Jess head up and forward, that's now called the Jess head up and forward move. So you're extended.
Yes.
Now pull your arm up.
Exactly.
I got plenty of space.
A lot of room.
So it's not that I'm not flexible, though.
Correct.
It's that I'm not moving correctly.
People, so golfers, senior golfers especially, have been told for years to keep their head down, stay down, all that stuff. So they're not trained to do that.
Yeah.
They're not training themselves to extend their body. So you have to give them different information.
Sure.
And so that's what makes the difference of somebody who's staying flexed over with their arms bent versus somebody who's extending, tilting, and turning their body. And look at the best players in the world. LPGA Tour players and PGA Tour players are all doing
Pretty
that.
clear cut.
And we were talking about before too, the long drive guys.
Yeah.
That's all they talk about is extension. That's how they gain their power.
They extend the most.
They extend the most.
I think a cool spectrum to look at, and we'll have made sure we put up a bunch of videos that show this all, is if you took on the left side of the screen and put the average, I'll just say average golfer, but maybe average older golfer.
Sure.
And the right side of the screen, you looked at the long drivers.
Oh yeah.
And you started to do that. What was the old game at the bar where you like drew a circle around the differences thing? They used to play.
Yeah.
And you're like, all right, what are this couple differences? The number one of the things you'd see right off the bat would be the extension.
Oh yeah.
You'd see the golfers that hit the shortest to the right and down.
Yeah.
You see the golfers hit the longest up. Now that doesn't mean here.
Right.
One of the key concepts all the time is like, and I would say as a good checkpoint, when someone record themselves from face on, you're looking to add that extension piece while keeping your head in the circle.
Yes, absolutely.
That'd be a simple way to do it. Draw a circle around your head, extend the chest up with the right shoulder back, and keep the head in the circle. See how far you can extend without
without tilting.
overextending.
Right. Yeah. That and most people don't overextend. I mean, most people are so flexed forward.
That was for the 3 YouTube comments that are going to say, "Wait a minute, Eric. Okay, my head's going towards the target."
No, you're right, because that's a huge comment. They talk about that. Is they say, "Well, you're starting to tilt forward too much." And here's the thing, feeling real again. When you're swinging, you're not going to be doing that. You're going to most likely go back to what's more comfortable.
Yes.
And so you adding that exaggeration piece is very important.
And use camera. Like, don't guess. Just use camera.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm going to do one more. I think we're going to keep this video on this. I think we're going to save the downswing stuff for our next video.
All right, we can do that.
So I want to just do one more and just reconfirm, even though we said it 18 times, the feels here.
Okay.
So I'm watching this on my phone. I'm at the range. I'm like, all right, cool. I want to buy my driver. What do I do?
Yes.
I don't put my video out.
Right.
Okay, I didn't listen to Eric or Jess. And so I'm going to start just feeling it.
Yeah.
Chest, I think two things that are pretty easy. Chest works up and back, the shirt buttons, towards the target and towards the camera and the sky.
Yes.
As my right shoulder works up and around.
Yes.
Is that kind of
That's
simple?
a great, no, those are two cues right there that work really well.
So shirt buttons are up,
Yep.
not down.
Correct.
They're back,
Yep.
not forward.
Correct.
They're back and up.
Yep.
And then my right shoulder works up and back.
Yes.
So
Yeah, those are
was
two
the
awesome
Instagram
cues.
30-second video.
There you go.
So let's do one more.
Okay.
Chest up and back.
Yes.
Right shoulders around. How about that? Chest
I
up
like
and
it.
back. Right shoulder around.
Yep.
Okay. 375.
Yes, let's do it.
Chest up and back. Ooh, Jess.
Yeah, that's nice.
Is that the longest ball ever hit on this range?
That is, Eric. You have just now hit that ball
out of the park?
At least out of the park. So
That was
nice
that
shot.
felt good.
Very nice. Great swing.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
So that's the extension piece during the backswing.
Yes.
Right, really the biggest thing that we see that, honestly guys, can make an immediate impact. But after you go practice it, if you hit it longer and good, great. If not, record yourself.
Yes.
Draw the circle around your head. Simply keep your head in the circle while getting the turn in.
Yes,
right?
for sure.
So
Absolutely.
video 1, we're going to talk more. Jess,
All right,
thanks, man.
Eric,
Appreciate it.
awesome. Thank you.
Buddy.
Yep.
Hey guys, thanks for watching today's video. If you liked the video, do us a favor, click that like button down below. Leave a comment down below, click subscribe. The more action we have here really helps us out. YouTube sends our video around so we could help more golfers like you. If you liked this video, we're gonna put a YouTube style card on the screen. Go ahead and click that. We'll also put a logo for Cogorno Golf. If you'd like to work with me, I'd love to work with you. You could click that, that'll take you there. Thanks for watching.